Hello community. Oh, yes. Hello community, this is Civic D with a new vlog. I've actually been quite busy, even though I didn't upload much. I've been having guests, and awesome guests they were. Riot Azrael was flown in. I've been hanging around with him, which was awesome. Also, WW Dabs, who is the number 1 of my country and number 5 of Europe. I learned a lot of him. It was basically like, he was like sitting here and I was like, I know everything about League of Legends. And he was like, you don't know this yet about League of Legends. And I didn't know this yet about League of Legends. So that was like really interesting for me. Yes, we also had great time at the clubs here in my glorious city of Eindhoven. And actually also been in quite a bit of trouble, not related to the clubs or them. Yeah, I was in a bit of trouble, but basically, I was sinking in this trouble, and Athene grabbed me here, and he pulled me out of the trouble, and then he left the Skype call and flew away while I was saved. So yeah, that was pretty much what happened. It was amazing. Yes, but I also want to get into runes today. I want to get us ready for ranked, so we can start owning it up with our glorious runes. We're gonna talk about standard pages, champion specific pages, and strategy specific pages. Basically, there's people often build their standard pages wrong, especially the mage and support. They get built wrong most of the time because people often don't realize they need to bring all the armor they can get for their support because they're in that 80 carry crossfire. So those yellow GP5s are not that good. You really want that armor there. You can get gold per 5 on quintessence though. That's perfect. You also want to bring secondary armor on your red, and possibly like cooldown reduction or ability power on your blue. Depends on the champion. Most of the time it's cooldown reduction. On your mage you also want to bring magic resistance instead of your ability power on blue. And that comes as a surprise to a lot of people. But magic resistance is actually quite costly. It costs a lot of gold. And the runes give a lot of it. So the AD carry, the jungler, the solo top, they all want magic resistance or magic resistance per level, with the mage being the example of where you don't want magic resistance per level because you'll be instantly facing the mage. On yellow, a lot of people bring mana regen on your mage, and that's actually not that good because in late game the mage is gonna get focused. And a lot of people are like, yeah, you need to bring health per level on your mage. It kind of depends on the strategy you're playing, because if you're playing like a Fizz, like an assassin, you're not gonna need that. You're gonna want either mana regen or just more ability power, like ability power per level, either way, because you're a farmer. Next, there's like a light shining in my face, distracting me more than anything ever. Next I want to talk about champion specific pages. The best example of this, well, it's probably not, no, the best example of this ever is Jungle Tryndamere, because his passive gives him more rage for every hit he makes. So on him, you might not want to bring physical damage or armor penetration, but you're gonna want to bring attack speed on his reds, because that benefits you so much more. Also Galio and Hecarim, who get double stats from their passive with magic resistance and movement speed. Another example is like, well, it's slightly champion specific strategy, so combination of both, so I'm gonna jump into that now anyway. Katarina going mid, she benefits from both attack damage and ability power on her abilities. More from ability power, but on mid, if you deal a lot of attack damage, that's extremely good, because the enemy mage is going to be harassed much harder than she's gonna harass you. And basically, I'm gonna sit like this. Yeah. Uh, Basically, normally you don't want your mage to bring attack damage because it won't scale late into any game, mid game, whatever. But on Katarina, it's worth the sacrifice because you're gonna be fine. Because you're gonna be fine anyway, because it works on your abilities. Another good example is Shaco, because he's got that ability that gives critical damage. It's a guaranteed crit, but because this would be OP, it's lowered from 100 to like 70% efficiency or something. And the runes still maintain 100% efficiency. So that's another way to kind of exploit that system, to bring critical damage on it. Another good way of using runes strategically is bringing a couple of experience runes. Because experience runes are usually never used, but if you're mid lane and you are leveling slightly faster than your enemy, you could start exchanging and fighting, and at one moment you're higher level. So basically you're winning all exchanges because you're doing it in that one moment you're higher level, that few seconds. It's something Tabs learned me, it's quite awesome. He makes it work. Next, well, it was just amazing to have Tabs and Azrael here. I learned a lot from them. I had a lot of fun with them going to the clubs. We went completely crazy. Yeah, it was basically awesome. I think that was pretty much all I had to say. Well, yeah. If you combine all ways of making these pages, you can start making your own strategies, just like I made Potion Master Garen. Because I wanted a strategy of using only potions. So I looked for a champion that has a lot of armor and magic resistance and a way of using that well, which is Garen, with his ability that gives him armor and magic resistance. And I gave him armor and magic resistance runes to make that even stronger and then use that as a strategy. And thinking like this can be a lot of fun. It's basically the most fun you can have in League. Building things, designing things. That was everything I had to say today.